Technology is the easiest part of the whole thing today.
Yeah.
Whoever has the mic.
Mic.
That's fine, he's got the mic. Carry on, finish up.
Okay, I must say that the presentations have been fantastic, an eye-opener, and they create an utopian world. First thought goes to the common man on the street. How much does he have to pay for all that is going to be done for him? And is he going to be able to afford it? That's one. Second is that in terms of the technologies that we have covered, what would be the impact of two new areas that are being discussed? One is the Google Glass, and the second is implanting RFIDs under the skin of people, whereby you don't really need a UID. People can walk into hospitals and maybe by just showing their wrist, get identified, and the rest follows. So, any one of your speakers, or maybe Kasturi can talk about it, because she made a very nice presentation about the future world, and whether Google Glass and something stored, some small chip under the skin can change the way we live our lives.
So the question has two parts to it. One is the technology part and one is the more social aspect of it. Let me address the technology part. The social aspect, I don't think I am, I have the expertise to answer that. So this, the technology part, yes, I mean, any of these technologies are available. If you want to embed and you want to RFID in a human skin, it is feasible, because today RFID is getting embedded in to track animals, to track milk yields. So there is a lot of that's going on in any case. So that's happening. Now whether we want to embed in our for us as human, as a race, it's more a social dialogue that has to happen. It's not a technology dialogue. Now coming to first part of your question, what is the cost of this services that we are talking about? Well, I don't think the cost of the services that at least from the presentation that I made, where device to device connectivity, these devices exist. A mobile phone is being used by everybody. The rest of it is sensors that are we plan to embed within devices that we have commonly in our homes. So it could be a meter, electric meter, which becomes a smart meter. It could be a refrigerator, which becomes a smart refrigerator. It can be. That technology cost is not, I wouldn't say is going to be a barrier. The barrier would be actually in this ecosystem coming together. You need the device management platform and app developers, you need companies who is going to deliver those services, you need service providers that would enable those. So if you look at the entire ecosystem, then you have cloud providers or the infrastructure. So now if you look at the entire ecosystem, the cost of the service rather than the technology would be the more important factor in this. Because here each of these people in this value chain or this ecosystem are going to be in it for a business. They are not going to do it for their altruistic motives. So the cost of the services is going to be more of a concern rather than the technology cost, is what my take on this is. I hope that answers your question.
We have to wrap up. The last question.
Hello? Yeah, we saw a picture of the future. As far as India is concerned, are we too late to contribute in terms of technology to this future? If not, what can India still do? Because you see, we missed the VLSI board. I don't think we contributed much in terms of technology in communications. Is there still something that we can do as a country, or is it too late?
If I look at what has already happened in the future that we all talked about, we are all talking about machines. I mean, by and large, we were talking about smart machines, smart things, and smart world. There is a lot of work that has already happened, and we have I can safely say missed the boat on that one also, right? So let's call a spade a spade. The standards, if you look at how much money has been spent by China in the last 5 years, we are abysmally not even 0.0001% of that. So forget about catching up, right? $620 billion is a lot of money that they have already spent on this. So standards have come out. They have got Hajar committees which have formed and done a lot of work there. They've got 100 public listed companies which are making profit for the last 5 years in this space. I'm not talking about startups, they're public listed companies. So where we will come in and where we haven't yet solved, because we have a unique country, we are a very unique country. The application of these things in Jugaad, not call it Jugaad, but the unique application in our socio-economic situations is where we have to innovate like anything. Like I said, healthcare, it is not a question of technology, but how do you get people to change their mindset? We can do smart cities any day. But how do you get people to really allow this thing to happen? How do I build the country while the country is already running next to it? Like, how do you simultaneously implement these technologies? How do you not do small pilots and then forget about it? We are doing lots of small pilots. We are not putting the infrastructure required for doing it wholesale. Anybody who has started doing these things wholesale has abandoned the project by and large because of their ability to think through and implement this all the way. Small companies have given out, we will have integrated townships. The whole Mumbai-Delhi industrial corridor was a big example of about 20 cities that will come up, completely smart cities. It's taken a long time for them to acquire land, long time for them to implement anything. Not one of them has even acquired all the land required to start these things going. After that will come smart cities, after that will be somebody using it for a long period of time. But thinking is going on. The election, the government today announced a lot of incentives for moving in that direction. So hopefully we will catch up. But the trick over here is to find solutions which are uniquely Indian, using technology which anybody else has already created. Sensors are coming up, all kinds of interesting sensors are coming up which we can integrate into all kinds of interesting solutions. I think that's the...
I think, the two other areas. I think today the basic R&D is definitely lagging, but there is significant amount of work, which Sumit have talked about in the startup ecosystem is happening. Now, one of the major challenge of startups in India is that even if they've come up with great product or idea, they don't have access to the market. And an organization like Infosys, which typically should work with them, we don't work with them, right? We don't take a new idea from India and take it to the global market. We actually have the reach, but we probably don't have the intent. But that is changing. That is changing in a big way, and I'm sure this will be a big boost for our ideas to go to the global market, where we'll work as a system integrator to put a lot of work together and take some really large mega problems to solve. The other area in terms of application of technology to solve the country's problem, I think today we are in the right time. In terms of mobile penetration, in terms of the connectivity, of course there are challenges. In terms of basic infrastructure, which you have said, it is in my mind we are in the third generation infrastructure. First generation we have just put the desktops and the back end computers. Then we have application packages, and then of course we are now moving to the cloud. Very youthful population. In fact, one study has shown that India is best poised today to bring accountability in governance. Is the best poised to you, and that is where I think the technology will be adopted. We have to really look at our problems not from global mindset but from local mindset, break it down, take local solution first, which will work, and then use technology rather than take a technology and try to apply it. I think that is a big change we need to do.
Thank you. Clearly this was a session which caught all our attention despite coming between you and lunch. I want to thank all the panelists for really putting on the table thought-provoking ideas, and thank you for bringing the right questions to make it complete. So we close the session. I'll hand over to Mongona for the closing.
Thank you, distinguished panelists. Before we close the session, we would request our Vice President, Mr. Ambarish Dasgupta, to please present mementos to our speaker. Mr. Dasgupta, please. to Ms. Bhattacharya. To Mr. Bhattacharya. To Mr. Chaudhary. To Mr. Kashnavish. And to Mr. Park. Ladies and gentlemen, we will have a delayed lunch and we are moving on to the next session. We have the speakers with us in the venue. So we'll take a couple of minutes to change over to the next session. Introduce you to the speakers. Mr. Rajiv Pratap is a co-founder and COO of Abzuba Inc. He is a data scientist heading the data sciences group in San Francisco and Kolkata. His responsibilities include path-breaking research in machine learning and semantics and using prior experience in data mining and business intelligence to convert unstructured data into actionable knowledge and intelligence. A successful serial entrepreneur, he started his career at the prestigious IBM T.J. Watson Research Center, where he was part of the team that did pioneering work in making business intelligence and data mining usable for non-technical business managers. The showcase product Advanced Scout for NBA allowed NBA coaches to refine and define winning game strategies using data mining. He has over 20 years of experience with big data, predictive analytics, innovative data mining, architectures, business intelligence, databases, web analytics, and integration of data from mobile devices and enterprise data. Mr. Rajoshi Sen Gupta is a senior director in Deloitte. He is a leader of the technology integration and analytics practice of the firm in India and is a member of the consulting leadership team. He has over 21 years of experience of working in consulting in information technology. He focuses on leading and delivering complex business transformation in clients while leveraging information technology and in using information technology as a driver for business change. He specializes in the area of information management and business analytics, IT strategy and architecture, and software development with a focus on mobility solutions and the development of mobile enterprise apps. He is a technology subject matter expert in XBRL. Mr. Suresh Vithavandu is head of corporate HR responsible for organization and performance effectiveness, career management framework, consequence management, mergers and acquisition, global systems enablement, and compliance risk management. Prior to this role, he was playing the role of Chief People Officer at Cognizant's Emerging Business Accelerator. In this role, he was responsible for all strategic people function interventions for EBA. He introduced the use of workforce analytics to improve responsiveness to business resource utilization and corporate resource planning and was responsible for driving industry-leading utilization in 2011. He will share the industry perspective of the HR in IT. We have Mr. Charanpreet Singh, who is the CEO of AIM Education, Associate Dean of Praxis Business School, who will share the academia perspective of the HR in IT. He is a BTech in Mechanical Engineering from IIT Kanpur, an MBA from the University of Iowa, and winner of British Chevening Scholarship Program for Young Managers. He has spent more than a decade and a half in the corporate sectors in firms like British Oxygen, Tata Steel, PwC and HP. At HP, he was the country manager marketing when he decided to return to his first love, academics. He collaborated with like-minded people to co-found Praxis Business School to offer a high-quality residential program option to seekers of business education. In addition to a 2-year postgraduate management program in management, Praxis offers full-time and a weekend programs in business analytics. He is passionate about Kolkata cuisine, teaching analytics and sports. He is a member of the marketing committee of the CII and IT committee of the Bengal Chamber. So we will request Colonel Bottomwell to take forward the discussions.
Hello. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Now, two sessions have been combined, and very two interesting sessions. Sometime in early 60s, in Atlanta, Martin Luther said, "I have a dream." We all know that. It took 40 years, more than 4 decades. When Mr. Obama became president, the news headlines were, "That dream has come true." The discussion here today, journey from 2.6 to 15. The target has been set that today West Bengal has got 2.6% of the total the software business, and the target is set 15%, and the time given is 6 years. That is 2020. In such an ambitious state, the last slide of Miss Kasturi Bhattacharjee of Ericsson, it reminds me, can it happen? And she said in a slide that it can happen if more people think that it can happen and then more people work for it. I have eminent panelists with me, Mr. Rajiv Pratap, Mr. Rajoshi, and thereafter we have got other two panelists. They will speak on the intellectual potency of this state and how to harness it. The first two panelists, I request to throw light on what they believe about the target that has been set. May I request Mr. Rajiv Pratap to give his views, please. Thank you.
While I'm setting up, so there is something I tell my team, and I do a lot of target setting for my own company. I said, if you believe the target if you keep thinking about the target, if you keep talking about it, eventually you will believe in it and it starts to come true. So there is no target that is not achievable. There is nothing that is not achievable. I am here to kind of talk a little bit about my experiences as an entrepreneur in West Bengal and Kolkata. And we are a predictive analytics company. We analyze large amounts of data. So I'm very humbled to be in such a serious company where people are talking about all the new technologies and the tools and everything like that. My belief is that everything is generating data. It's generating a lot of data. Everything that we do, smartphones, telecom networks, the connected world, healthcare, everything, all it's doing is generating data. And I believe that the last mile is about analyzing that data. The last mile is about deriving actionable value out of that data. And this is what I will try and bring forth from a technology perspective, as well as from a perspective of why I believe that the 2.6 to 15 analytics is the way. Analytics is the way because the world needs it. Analytics is the way because, well, most importantly, we can deliver it right here. In a short span of 2.5 years, Abzuba in Kolkata has grown from 0 to 100 people. We have data scientists, and I'm going to define all these for us. Who is a data scientist? What is big data? What is predictive analytics? I'll try to throw some light on it, and I will share my experiences as an entrepreneur as to how this is going to be the key from 2.6. And well, even meet is what I